There's always a bomb that goes off in every transaction.
The door is wide open. There are no keys to be seen. I'm afraid to go into the house.
Door opened, the key was there. But inside, there was a squirrel running loose. Scared the actual crap out of me and my little girl.
What did you do to my locks? What did you do to the keys? Right out of the
Very
gate.
aggressive.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Once you go to court, you lost already.
Never, ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Hey.
That's
Podcast,
no
not
good.
singing
That's no
here.
good.
One of the pictures that they sent me a charge for $90 was of a business card on the floor.
We're not given any disclosures about this. And they found the gateway to hell in the house. I'm not kidding.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Hey, everybody. I am Elizabeth Ann Klein from List with Elizabeth, and here with my associates.
William A. Restrepo
Okay.
with the Major Key team.
I didn't know there was an A in there.
Yes, there's an A. I mean, I only said it because you said Ann.
Oh, got it. Oh,
Yes.
we're both A.
Yeah.
There you go. Are you Ann also?
And dress.
Got it. Oh, wow. You are
And
actually.
dress. Yes.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes.
I wanted to do a different format today and give people a behind the scenes look at what we deal with every single day as agents, because I feel like a lot of content out there is all the same. It's about, I do. I feel like most of it's the same. Get pre-approved, all the steps, how to first time home buyers. I want to talk about actual transactions and different things that you're seeing during your transactions, I'm seeing through my transactions, and just share that.
The real part
The real
of real estate,
part of real estate.
of the real estate agent,
Behind the scenes look
behind the reels.
of a real estate agent's life.
Behind the reels, I like that because all that we see is reels like, this is what $500,000 gets you in Northern Virginia. Anyhow.
Exactly. Okay,
Yes.
we all know. We can all
Yes.
jump online and see what's for sale. So one of the challenges I had recently, and I'm going to call them challenges because when everything runs smoothly, there's really not much to talk about, right?
Yeah, you just open up a door and made a paycheck. Like nothing happened, right? You
And
didn't do
that's-
anything.
I would say that's total fantasy because there's always there's always a bomb that goes off in every transaction. There's something that's going to happen, and whether it happens prior to finding a home, from ratification to close, or even sometimes after settlement,
Post-settlement occupancy
post-settlement
debacles.
occupancy
Yes.
issues, etc. So speaking of that, I found this very interesting. I had a buyer, lovely buyer, super sweet family. She was looking for a townhouse for her and her girls and had her area narrowed down very nicely. So there were not a lot of homes to look at. There were essentially 3 properties that we were looking at in one day. She looked at all 3, picked one, and we wrote an offer and it went through. Beautiful, right? Amazing. So about 48 hours after that happened, the seller, who also in this case is the listing agent, which has its own challenges,
Ooh.
by the way. The seller/listing agent calls and says, I have an amazing win-win for everybody that I'd like to put on the table.
Okay. So at this point, you have ratified a contract, which means everybody has agreed to the terms.
Correct.
And then post-ratification is like, I have a deal for you.
Exactly.
All right. Go ahead.
It's usually never a deal when it comes after we've negotiated the terms. So the seller decided that she would like a rent back, a post-settlement rent back, which essentially gives the seller the right to continue to live in the home after it closes. And she said, it's so great because your buyers will be able to essentially own the home quicker.
Okay.
And they won't have the pressure of moving right away. But she did want to live in the home rent free. So that's where it became not such a good deal.
No, but wait. So
For my
the
buyers.
buyer gets to own the home sooner, pay for a mortgage, taxes, insurance
Yes.
sooner,
Sooner.
but they don't have the pressure to move in because the seller
Yes.
will hold the house for them
Exactly.
for a little bit of time for free.
for free
Sounds like an amazing deal, but not for your
for
clients.
the seller. Exactly. So the beauty of this proposition was that it did happen after ratification.
Okay.
So we did not have to agree to it. All of the control was in our side. And so we did respond back. And my buyer, of course, I always discuss these things with my buyer because
Right.
it's not my decision. It is always the buyer's decision, the client's decision. So I explained everything to the client. And she decided that she would be willing to do the rent back at a nice, juicy daily charge
Okay.
of fill in the blank. So we called the lender and got an estimate of her daily charge. So how much is her daily mortgage on her principal? How much is her daily interest? How much is her HOA daily? How much is her property tax? How much is her insurance? So we got all of the figures, did the calculations for the amount of time, and proposed back that if we agreed to the rent back, that the seller would have to essentially cover the charges that the buyer is then incurring.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Was it unreasonable? And I understand that given the timing, yes. But was it unreasonable for that seller to ask for a free rent back?
I think so.
I mean, okay.
I think so.
Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Is it unreasonable for a seller to ask for free rent back? Not for that particular seller, but is it in our area?
I think it's driven by supply and demand. So in this particular case, this was a townhome. It went on the market the day we saw it. So it went on a Thursday. We rushed out. I think we were the first showing.
Okay.
We were the very first showing on the townhouse. And actually on this one, the key was missing. So I had to call the listing agent. She actually came to the door. She was 5 minutes away, so it worked out perfectly. It's starting to rain.
Did she have to call the owner? Oh, wait, it's the same person.
She is
Go
the
on.
owner. Exactly. So she was probably waiting around the corner. Now that I think back,
Yes.
she probably left 10 minutes before we got there, was waiting around the corner. I called her. She ran around the corner, gave us the
It was
key.
probably at the neighbor's house watching you from the window.
Probably. Actually, that's
Yeah.
probably exactly what happened. So she really loved a townhouse. But
Yes.
again, we were going to see a couple more after that. So at the end of the day, I went back into showing time, which shows us essentially you can sometimes see how many showings are booked on that property. And I could see that it was quite a few. It photographed beautifully. It showed really well online. I knew it was going to be a hot property. We saw it day one, showing one. So she wanted to get that townhouse. She didn't want it to run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and into multiple offer situations.
So you wanted to secure the property.
We wanted to secure the property and take it off the market before the open houses.
So at that point, you had submitted your offer, and that seller would have said, okay, it's yours, but I want to stay here for free.
At that point, she should have added in the rent back or the post-settlement occupancy.
And they probably would have gotten it.
So the reason I'm saying I don't think that it was warranted in this case is because we gave what we call a clean offer. A clean offer means contingent free. No financing contingency, no appraisal contingency, no home inspection contingency, no radon contingency. Literally wiped it clean and pumped up the price quite a bit over list price. So when the seller got the offer, her jaw probably dropped to the floor. And she was like, okay, done. We're taking it off the market, which is what happened. But then she came back and wanted even more. And so at that point, we're going, okay, we gave you everything, and the moon. So if you want the rent back, we're gonna
At that point,
just
like you
ask
have
our own charges.
you have to regain a little bit of control in
Yes.
your own transaction. I'm asking if it's unreasonable in our area to ask for a free rent back, because we see it in our transactions where we have to sometimes, in order to be competitive, to fight the other 10 offers to do that free rent back. I remember a transaction, last year where, and by the way, 60 days is the maximum allowed time. Last year, I had a client that put his house on the market, lovely home, and we got an offer that gave us 60 days of free rent back.
Wow.
And this was an initial conversation with the client where I have a number in mind and this and that and the other. And you get past all of this minor objections, because really what rules the land is the sales contract and the terms that are in that offer. So the number was a good number that they got, but the terms were fantastic. Your clean offer. And in
Yes.
addition to that, they got free rent back for
Right.
60 days. He's like, yeah, this represents me X amount of, tens of thousands of dollars in carrying cost. I'll take this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I do see that a lot. So in West Springfield and Springfield Burke, specifically Northern Virginia, when an offer is going to be competing against multiple offers and a rent back is asked in advance by the sellers, so the buyers are actually aware that they need to write one into the offer, almost 9 times out of 10 is at no charge. And what I will tell my buyers is, think of it like we're going to just roll it into the sales price. So
Yes.
if you were going to offer $900,000 and charge a rent back for $5,000, then we're not going to do that. We're going to then offer $895,000.
Right.
So we can still work it into the formula, but it looks cleaner. It comes across better on the seller side. And it's just something that, again, can give you that edge over the other offers on the table to help you and your client on the buyer side to win.
And the win.
Yeah.
All right. So you mentioned something funny. You tried to
Yeah.
get into the house,
Yeah.
but there were no keys.
Yeah.
So I recently had an experience where I get a call.
Okay.
It was like 4 or 5 p.m. in the afternoon. I am somewhere in Northern Virginia. I forget what it was. Might have been Fairfax or whatever. But the call is like, I am here for a showing.
So you had the
and
listing.
I am the listing agent.
You
Yes,
are the
thank
listing
you.
agent. Okay.
I'm the listing agent, and somebody calls me. He's like, "Hey, I am here at your property, at your listing. The door is wide open," and I'm
the
like,
front door is wide open.
"Wide open." So, first of all, I had to ask, "What do you mean is open? Is it
Right.
unlocked?"
Right.
And they're like, "No, it's wide open. Like open door, come in, raccoons, lizards,
Okay.
everything, right?"
Yes.
So the door is wide open. Now the property, this particular one was in Maryland. Okay,
Okay.
so it's like which listing are you talking about? It's in Maryland. It's like, okay, 5 p.m. Maryland. I can't really do anything about this, right?
Yeah.
I am frozen in place because of traffic. So it's like the door is wide open. Your century lock box is open. There are no keys. There are no keys to be seen. I'm afraid to go into the house. And I cannot blame her, right?
Wow. Yes.
So she says, one of the windows is open. I don't know what's going on. And at that point, it's like, okay, so what do you do? What do you do? So because it was on Century Lock, which is our fancy realtor box, I was able to see in the timestamp who was the last person who opened it, the last time at which they opened it, and I immediately called them. And they're like, "Oh no, we left the keys back there." And it's like, "Well, you think you did,
Yeah.
but
Where
they're
are
not."
they?
Yes, you were the last person to open the box.
Yeah.
The box is wide open. You were the last person. You were the last person to open the box. You were the last person to have an appointment before this one. And now the door is wide open. There are no keys. The central lock box is open. And it became this whole thing of like, oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? And I'm like, right now there's a showing. They're going to finish the showing, but I need you to go and find those keys or to fix the problem. And how do you fix the problem, right? Like what would you
Did
do
he
at that
reach in
point in
his
time?
pocket and find the keys? Because that has happened to me before.
That is the number one reaction.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have the keys. And then you're like,
You're in your pocket.
oh,
Yes.
how many times has that happened to you?
Okay.
Give me a, what?
Not that many, actually. Maybe 3 times.
Maybe 3
over
times.
10 plus years.
Do you have
yeah.
a routine?
I don't have pockets, by the way, so I never do that.
Okay.
Just kidding.
but do you have a routine when you walk into a house, all of the steps that you take?
I guess I do, actually. I never really thought about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your SOP?
Now that I'm thinking about it, I suppose I open the door first and then I let the clients go in.
Oh, you send them into the wild.
I do.
What if they're wild animals?
Because I'm
loose?
still like securing the key either back in the lockbox if it's something I can lock by the doorknob, or I'm getting my like shoe covers on. And I like for my buyers to be able to see the home at their own pace, room by room, as they want to see it. And I'm seeing it for the first time as well as they're seeing it. So it's not like I have any insider scoop as to, you know, let's start here and then go there.
Right.
I don't know where the wow factors are. So we're
once you come into this room, it's going to be an amazing view. Yes. So in terms of safety, do you think about that? I know that you usually
Not
do
really.
an appointment and you know the people that you go in to a house.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Are you talking about safety with buyers?
Safety, yes. You're going into a house with somebody.
With clients I've met before.
Exactly. Yes. So that is your safety routine. You have met them before you go to the house. I don't meet
strangers at houses and take them in. Never.
Okay.
Never, ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Hey. Podcast, not singing here. So you go in. So my particular like mental routine is, of course, I retrieve the key, open the door, I let them go in. Okay, so I open the door, turn on the lights, right? Okay. Let them go in. You want to control the door in terms of safety. I do occasionally meet people for the first time at a house. Okay. A lot of rental showings happen like that. You might have had a conversation with them. We do have tools to do a little bit of vetting before you actually go to meet somebody. We have forewarn given to us by our lovely association, NVAR. Thank you.
Go NVAR.
Go. But we can check their, like, you know, do a little bit of a
background check.
I call it a soft background check, right? And so you know kind of who you're meeting, and then once you get to the property, you still look at them, and you were meeting one person and there are three, like that might be a red flag, right? So you're always like, you know, little alarms going off. So I let them go in, and then the key goes in my back rear pocket.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
So that is kind of my routine, and that's why are you missing the key? The first place that I look at is in my back rear pocket. Yes. Yeah. There was this one time that somehow I was wearing shorts, and it was one of those loose pockets, and the key folded.
Oh, and like in the pocket?
The key in the pocket. So I'm putting my hands in the pocket, and there is no key. And I'm like, it's a vacant house. Where's the key? And it turns out that the pocket had folded in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it took like 5 minutes before I was able to find it. But yes. So this particular one. Yeah. It's like no keys. No, we don't have them. What do we do? I don't know a locksmith. I don't know this. I'm like, I don't know. You know, like at that particular time, it's like, do you go and rekey a house? Like, what's gonna happen if you do that? Or in this case, what we did is I offered the option of, why don't you just get a locksmith and put a new lock?
Is that what the sellers did?
The agent. Seller is selling the house. The seller is, they gave me the keys, you know what I mean? So at this point, it's like, hey, you're going to get a locksmith to rekey an old lock.
So I think that's something that I will not accept one key anymore from a seller.
Yes.
I have to have 3 keys.
Yes.
Because of instances like that, we hang 2 lock boxes at the house, and then we keep an emergency key in the office.
Which we didn't have.
Yeah.
The spare key was in, I believe that the spare key was in Arlington with the owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I did walk into a house once with my daughter, who at the time was probably 8. I don't know why we were going by ourselves. I can't remember. Oh, I know why. I remember why. Okay. So one of my associate friends, he renovates homes and basically flips them. So he wanted me to go over and check it out. And it was in the neighborhood. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll go check it out. So I took my little girl with me, and we opened the door, which was fine. The door opened. The key was there. But inside, there was a squirrel running loose. Scared the actual crap out of me and my little girl. We closed that door so fast, and we were like, oh my God, run!
At least it wasn't a bat.
That's another story.
Yeah.
I've had that too.
Oh, check.
Have had that too.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Coming up.
Yeah. So you never know what you're going to see when you open that door. But yeah, called my friend and he took care of the little critter and put the house on the market after that.
I mean, it was just a squirrel.
It was, but it was scary to see him like.
You actually don't know what they've eaten either. Maybe the squirrel had a Red Bull.
I don't do well with bugs and wild animals in houses. Sorry. Red Bulls. That's scary in and of itself. Just a Red Bull. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, so in this particular case, we were able to sort it out fairly easy.
So you changed the locks.
Right. The agent was in Maryland. They were not going to drive to Arlington to get the key from the seller to then bring it to a locksmith and to make the copies and none of that. So sometimes you just have to get practical.
Yeah.
It was a simple lock. So it wasn't anything fancy or elaborate. They brought in a locksmith, replaced the lock and gave me 3 keys. Voila. Problem solved.
Do you ever have an issue where sometimes the key is there, but you can't get it to unlock?
Only all the time. Especially, you know when I see that a lot? With doors that face where the sun dies. Like they get a lot of sun exposure.
Okay. I feel like the older doors, the older locks. And sometimes I'll call the listing agent and they'll say, oh, you just have to jiggle it. You just have to work with it.
Jiggle it. Yeah, let me break the key.
So the one day we just could not get the door to open. I tried, my client tried, there were 2 of them. The other one tried. The 3 of us could not get it open. So I called the listing agent and she said, oh, well, the seller said when it happens to her, she just goes around the back and opens up the window and climbs into the sink. So this is the window by the kitchen sink. She's like, can you just do that?
Okay, what is the quality of life when you have to do that or you can spend $100 in replacing a lock?
It was an adventure.
Did you climb on the window?
My client did it. The guy did it. Yeah, and he was a big guy.
No.
He got up. Yeah, he wedged that body in that window, got in that sink, and then he came around and let us in. It was amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So okay, the jiggling of the keys.
Yeah.
This happened to me with another agent. So you talked about post-settlement occupancy. I'm going to talk about pre-settlement occupancy.
Ooh, which is
the same but different?
Kind of a big problem area.
Yes. So pre-settlement occupancy.
To be avoided at all costs.
Yes. I should say that I'm not an advocate for it on either side. So the pre-settlement occupancy means that you are letting somebody who doesn't own the home yet.
Okay.
It's promising to buy it. You're letting them in before they sign on the dotted line.
So the sellers let the buyers.
Correct. They're under contract.
Take possession of the home prior to closing.
Prior to closing, correct.
Yes. Very rare in this area.
It is. And funny enough, I've dealt with it twice now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I just remember that is an episode in and of itself.
Okay. See?
Pre-settlement occupancy, rent backs. Anyhow.
Okay.
So in this particular instance, I was working with some service members that were moving here from Alaska.
Okay.
Okay. So
very nice.
Yes. And we've done this, that that the military and service members, they just have their stuff picked up and it has to be delivered in a certain window. And if it's not delivered in a certain window, it ends up going to storage. And then they cannot just get it from storage. They have to wait however many weeks. It's a whole debacle.
It's very regimented.
It is. Yes. So in this particular case, we were closing, we're talking about like a couple of days later. We had some snags here and there, some delays here and there, but we were closing a couple of days later.
Okay.
But there's stuff later than scheduled. I'm representing the buyers later than scheduled. So we were able to negotiate reluctantly with all parties a partial pre-settlement occupancy. It's like, we're going to let you use the garage for staging your stuff. So you don't have to go into storage.
So the buyers got permission to put some boxes in the garage prior to closing.
To move into the garage. Correct.
Whatever they want.
Well, it was a truck. Yeah,
the whole truck.
Pack the garage as much as you can.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. So we go, retrieve the keys, do the walkthrough. Luck would have it, the moving truck was broken down somewhere in Ohio.
Oh, great.
So
and we're in Virginia.
We're in Virginia. So the
Long
day
way.
that they were going to be there, they were not. So this
Okay.
pre-settlement occupancy was essentially not needed at this point.
Okay.
But it had been negotiated. It had been signed. It's
Okay.
in place. So we go to get the keys. Okay.
Okay.
We only have the garage. The seller still has the rest of the
rest of the
house.
home, okay.
They were moved out, but they had a few knickknacks here and there.
Okay. They still
So-
had some items in the home.
We do the walkthrough.
Okay.
We get the keys.
Okay.
We leave the house.
Okay.
Seller goes back
Okay.
because they were gonna retrieve those items that they left behind.
Yep.
Door doesn't open. Listing agent calls me. What did you do to my locks? What did you do to the keys? You guys just changed. I did not want to agree to this pre-settlement thing, and now you just, what did you do? And I'm like,
Whoa.
right out of the
Very
gate.
aggressive.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. We didn't do anything. We're not even going to be moving because the truck is broken.
Truck is in Ohio.
In Ohio. Yeah. And he's like, well, the sellers are there and they can't open the door. And I'm like, we haven't done anything. Well, your clients, the buyers did change something. Can you check? And of course, they hadn't. I had the key.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the key because I'm not going to hand them the key.
But the sellers had their own key.
Correct.
And you had a second key.
Correct.
Okay. And the buyers did not have a key.
Correct.
Okay. So
The charge was that we had changed the locks.
I understand.
Now, this door, front of the house, all of the sun in the world, whenever, the very first time that I went to do a showing, jiggle it.
hard to open.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's silly for me to say, hey, can you tell the sellers to jiggle their key? Because
They probably never used that door when they lived
garage
there.
door, exactly.
They never used it. So they didn't know
Exactly.
that it was hard to open.
Exactly. So to make a long story short,
Yeah.
there was a lot of back and forth.
Yep.
I, of course, called my clients and I'm like, hey, any chance that you guys went back? You know, are you nearby? Like, what's going on? They had nothing to do with anything. The sellers literally had to jiggle the key and they were able to gain access to the property. And that was that. But it didn't, it took until like the end of the day for the listing agent to confirm.
Did you get an apology?
A what?
Exactly. Sorry. I'm sorry on behalf of that
A what?
incident for you. I think too, because pre-settlement occupancies are so rare, the agent was probably already on edge about
Yes.
agreeing to it. And the second something went sideways, her fear and it came out as rage, right? And it came out to you that, hey, you did something, because she was probably so nervous about it.
Yeah, no,
I mean, it's not right.
understandable.
It's not fair, but that in essence is probably what happened.
Understandable. I would have been asking questions,
Yeah.
not accusing, but asking questions
Yeah.
as to, hey, you know, like what's going on here? Can you help me fix it? Because let's face it, we're, as you are saying, there are bombs that come.
Yeah.
We're gonna have issues, and truly the skill is in how do you solve those issues, not on not having them. That's great if you don't have them, but really, you know,
every deal has its own
their own set of issues.
specific, unique bomb that goes off. And that is behind the scenes.
That is
These
behind
are
the
the
scenes.
things we deal with. Keys, jiggling, pre-post settlement occupancies.
Pre-jiggle?
I did have a client once, a couple, that lived in Japan
Oh,
for however many years. And they did not lock their doors at all. So when they were going to list their home and I was asking for 3 copies of the front door key, they said, well, we never use it. Can't we just leave the door
were you
open?
selling a home in Japan?
No, exactly.
Exactly.
I recommended against that, and we did hang a lockbox and actually lock the door. So
Have you encountered issues with electronic locks these days? Because people more and more are using the electronic lock
Yeah.
doors and they don't have keys.
From time to time. So
How do you handle
sometimes-
that?
How do I handle it? I think normally what is done, what I have seen done, is there's still an electronic lockbox hung. And then once you open the box, inside is the code, the mystery, the key
It's like a scavenger
code.
hunt.
So then it is. I feel like I'm in one of those, what are they called? Escape rooms?
But you're trying to get
Escape
into the
room in
room.
real estate.
You're not trying to get out. You're
I'm
trying to get
in. So you get the code.
You know what? That can be a business model.
Yeah.
Like you put clues all around the
Oh,
neighborhood,
yeah.
and then the person like
Or
your
all
goal
around
is to get to the house.
Maybe all around the house that you're showing.
No, but you're trying to get into the house, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
get the password. The final password gives you access
Right.
to the home.
I did have one once where the code I believe was like 10 digits long. It was way too long.
Yes.
Everyone was mixing it up. No one could get the door open. And I'm like, no, there's not 3 1s in a row. It's 4 1s in a row. Then the 9, 8, 7, 4, 2, 6, 8, 9. It was too much. 6, 7.
6, 7.
So I did want to ask you, have you ever had, because this is happening to me now, an incident where you're going to have a split settlement? So quick pause. A split settlement is when the buyers and the sellers both have different representation for closing. So typically the buyer in Virginia chooses the closing company. And so let's say they pick Cardinal Title Group, for example. Cardinal Title Group would then prepare the seller side of the documents and the buyer side and close both sides. But that doesn't have to be the case. So a split settlement is when the buyers choose their own settlement company and the sellers choose their own settlement company. So in this case, we have a split settlement. My sellers, they live quite a few hours away from Northern Virginia. Not tech friendly.
Japan?
Not in Japan.
Okay.
Not tech friendly. No emails. No texting.
Did they have a fax
Yeah.
machine?
They may have a fax machine. So they wanted to use a title company close to where they live so they could walk, drive over there, meet the people face to face, do everything in person. So I am in Northern Virginia, moving 1,000 miles a minute, trying to work with their title company. The title company is just not calling back. So I sent them the sales contract on June 25th.
Do you think that they were
Yes.
not calling back because the line was busy because they were receiving fax?
Perhaps.
I'll stop.
Perhaps.
I'll show myself
amazing.
out.
That's
Go
like
ahead.
a whole other podcast.
I cannot send you a fax where I'm from, where I'm at. I'm in 2026.
Exactly.
Yes, I cannot send you a
Exactly, we
fax.
cannot.
Go ahead.
So anyway, it's been fairly challenging with the seller that doesn't communicate outside of phone calls, the title company that's not communicating at all. And on top of that, which was very interesting, as we were preparing the home for sale, the neighbor kept coming over to inquire about purchasing the home. I mean, came over, met the contractors, came over, met me, came over, met the sellers. And eventually she gave a strong, compelling enough offer to allow the sellers to say yes. So we did not actually go on the market. We had her raise her price about 4 times before we said yes.
Did the sellers ask for a post-settlement occupancy after?
They did not.
Sorry, there's no context to that unless you watch the beginning of
The
this.
beginning of the podcast.
Okay.
So they did not. So we had an off-market sale with a split settlement with a seller that doesn't communicate outside of phone calls. The buyer does have their own agent, thank goodness, but their lender also has not responded to any text calls or emails for about 2.5 weeks. So it's like a ghost deal. It's like it's kind of going down, but it's not going down.
We don't know what's happening.
We don't know what's happening.
So, funny enough, you just mentioned thankfully they had their own agent.
I did mention that.
So we live under the presumption that we don't live under that presumption. Some, let's call them civilians, consumers,
okay,
live under the presumption that, oh, I won't use an agent and everything will be better because, like I can do this. And the reality is, sure, you can do it, but why does that make your job more challenging and difficult if you are the listing agent working with an unrepresented party, or if you're representing a buyer that is purchasing a for sale by owner? Have you been in that situation?
Almost so rarely I'm going to say no.
Okay.
However, that's why we're doing this podcast.
Okay.
To show the behind the scenes absolute craziness that happens on every single deal, and why it's really important to have a professional guiding both sides, because otherwise there's no guardrails. There's no, just like I was saying before, when the seller also is the listing agent, right? She was coming back after we had negotiated all terms and now trying to renegotiate. That doesn't happen in a professional capacity. But when you have one party acting as their own agent, they're throwing things at the wall to see what will stick. And it just makes it very stressful and very, very, very difficult to move forward. Do you have some experience with this as well?
I have been on the buying side.
Okay.
With an unrepresented seller.
Okay, so same thing. Sellers representing themselves.
Yeah.
They're the listing agent. Yes.
So in this particular transaction was an off-market property. I had been working with this client. They were looking for something very specific. And they had been scavenging the social media groups, the neighborhood groups. And somebody said, hey, I'm planning to sell my house in the spring or something. But I don't remember the timeline exactly, but it was someone who just innocently posted, I'm planning to do this. And she was just like, let's go, we're going to buy it.
Okay. So it was off market.
It was a completely off market.
Which that would tend to happen more in off market situations.
Right. So in this case, the seller, they were moving out of the area. They were original owners too, and they have been there for 20 some years. So we were able to get the documents, get the contract in front of them. And the challenge or the challenging part of it is that I have access to the forms that we handle in our area. They don't. They don't have an agent that can write addendums or send them things for signature or explain to them what a contingency is and how does it take place, what are the terms, what happens if then, so in this particular case, again, the challenge is like, hey, can you please order the resale package?
The what?
The what? So if you are resale package, if you are in an HOA or in a condo, there are going to be rules and regulations that you are agreeing to when you purchase that home. That means rules of living. It means financial responsibilities. It means a whole lot of things that you cannot ignore and you cannot say, I don't like it, because that is attached to the property. Okay. So sellers have to give you an opportunity to review that package and to make sure that you are okay to move forward with that purchase. In Virginia, you get a 3-day right of rescission. Okay. So, hey, Mr. Seller, can you please order the resale package? It's like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, so now you are kind of crossing this line
You're doing both sides, really. You have to explain to them, this is what's required. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do after you get the packet. It's really almost impossible to have an unrepresented party that knows everything.
So the exception to that rule to a certain degree comes with the military members that might have done it multiple times because they're moving every 3 years.
But are they moving out of the same state?
Not moving out of the same
Usually
state,
not.
but they have the experience in the transaction. How often is an average person buying or selling a home in their lifetime? The military is doing it,
more.
is moving
But
every
every
3
state
years.
is different.
Every state is different. Absolutely. So they might not know the ins and outs of the particular jurisdiction.
Yes.
But at least they kind of know the mechanics, you know.
They
and
still
that comes
shouldn't.
to and that
They still shouldn't.
no, they shouldn't.
unrepresented.
That comes to play against them. I had military buyers that were trying to put in an offer with a $500 earnest money deposit. Earnest money deposit is what tells you, what tells the sellers that you are serious about purchasing this home. It is a good faith deposit. Anyhow, so a $500 deposit on a $500,000 million transaction is almost,
It's laughable.
Yes, I would have used a different word, but it is.
You can use your own word.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you willing to lose $500 or be forced to purchase this home that you no longer want, that you
Exactly.
change your mind about?
Exactly.
What do you think that you're going to do?
Yeah.
You just let the $500
It's
go away.
probably less expensive than the home inspection charge and the
Facts.
appraisal fee.
For another $600. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your cold feet, $500 is like, no, that's not gonna make anybody take your offer seriously.
And just to clarify, in Virginia, the earnest money deposit is not something buyers lose unless they breach the contract. So if there's a contingency or there's a home inspection and the buyers are not happy with that, or a contingency doesn't go through, the buyers get their earnest money deposit back. It only becomes up for grabs if there's
At risk.
at
I would say
risk.
at risk.
At risk if there's a breach
Yeah.
of contract.
Yeah.
And even then, both parties have to agree to the release of the earnest money deposit. So one of our brokers was saying he's dealt with cases, thank God I haven't. Hopefully I never have to. But he's been dealing with cases where the earnest money deposit has been in limbo for over 2 years. So buyers went to buy, sellers went to sell. Earnest money deposit was delivered. It's usually delivered to one of the brokerages or the title company, and something fell apart in the deal. And unless buyers and sellers both agree and sign off on the release of the earnest money deposit, either to the buyers, to the sellers, or split in some fashion, it just sits there.
And to add to that, it doesn't mean that that it goes without consequence. If you are unwillingly releasing that money, there could be
consequence if it goes
more severe consequences far
court.
beyond that.
Yes.
Yeah. I find that whenever you go to court, everybody lost already.
They do.
Yeah.
Time, expenses, stress, it's too much.
Yes. So
I've never had to go to court. Again, I'm going to knock on some wood here, but
yeah.
10 plus years of doing this, we've kept on the have you been to court?
Clean nose. I went to court over a personal issue, not
real
related
estate
to a
related?
transaction. It was real estate related,
Okay.
but not transaction related. It was my own.
You want to talk about that?
Sure, why not?
Okay, what happened?
I went to court against my landlord.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, a real estate agent that doesn't own a
So-
home. Eee.
Well, you own a home now. I
I do.
right? Yeah,
I was
this
renting
way
at
in
the time.
past.
Yes.
So you were renting.
Yes.
You had a security deposit?
I went to court over the security deposit. Yes.
Okay. So not an earnest money deposit.
It is the same though. It's
money that's being
money
held.
that has
Okay.
been held in escrow.
Okay.
It's my money. He's holding it for me,
Okay. He didn't want to
but
give
that
it to
money
you back.
belongs to me.
Okay.
Yeah, he so so my former landlord, I moved to this home. I lived there through pandemic. I moved in
Okay.
like 2 weeks after pandemic started. It was
wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
I stayed there, and a home that served me really, really well. It was an older home. I took great care of it. And then, it came a time for me to move out.
Okay.
And I talked to the landlord, eventually I move out, and the entire demeanor had changed the moment that I said that I was leaving.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
he wanted you to stay.
Well, I had
Apparently.
hinted that I might have been interested in purchasing the home, and maybe
Okay.
and maybe not. But then I had to change my entire plan, and I ended up moving elsewhere.
Okay.
So at that point, I said, hey, I am more than happy to help you rent this place again or to sell this place again. I was willing to do it at cost because I was very grateful for what the house had done for me.
Okay.
Okay. But just like with everything, you shouldn't represent yourself, right?
Right. Right.
An attorney that represents himself has a client for a fool is the expression that I heard.
Okay.
So he said, no, I have my own agent. And at that point I was like, you know what? It's better to not get mixed in here.
Okay.
I have a security deposit. I'm delivering the house, this, that, and the other. I moved out, and he just never said anything about the security deposit. When we did the walkthrough before I left, we're doing a walkthrough. He's telling me, well, you need to fix this, you need to fix that. And I was like, wait.
Oh.
Why do I have to fix windows? The windows are 1977 wood windows that are warped and never opened. Why are you telling me that I need to open them? So actually, let me back up. This
Okay.
is what happened.
Okay.
He says that he wants to sell the house.
Okay.
Can you walk with me and can you tell me what I need to do to sell the house? Okay. So we're walking,
Okay.
and I am pointing. I've lived in the house for 4 years. I know most things that are happening
Right.
with the house. This needs to be taken care of. This needs to be taken care of. This needs to be taken care of. We finished the walkthrough, and he says, okay, now you take care of them. And I'm like,
Ooh,
I'm telling you
interesting.
what needs to happen for you
For a
to sell the house.
sale.
Not that I broke these things
Right.
because I lived here for 4 out of the past 50 years. You know what I mean?
Wow. And then he withheld your security deposit.
Yes.
And then you went to court for it.
Not until day 46.
What do you mean day 46?
Okay. So Virginia requires
Okay.
a landlord to return the security deposit within 45 days or to provide a list of itemized charges
Okay.
to the tenant within that 45-day window
45 days from when?
when you leave. Like
you
when
leave.
the lease ends, when
Okay.
you leave, when you terminate the lease. Yes.
Okay.
So day 46.
Day 46 came. Had you been asking him for the security deposit?
No. No.
Did he forget about it?
No. Because on
Okay.
day 46, when I asked, he said, what security deposit? I had to spend so much money to fix the house for sale. So he's just like charging me for repainting the house, replacing carpets, replacing windows, like doing all sorts of things. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to pay for you to
Yeah.
prep your house for sale. So
And let's just be clear that it is not a requirement. Okay, hear me, Virginia. It is not a requirement to present your home in any specific way to go on the market. There are homes that sell as is, that need paint, need carpet, need new appliances, don't have a functioning. I had one day that didn't have a functioning HVAC, and it was being sold in the winter, and it was freezing in that house, and that house sold. So it is not a requirement to actually have a certain level of items done or cosmetic items done or even equipment.
You work with what you
that's
have.
working. So Virginia is a buyer beware state, meaning that buyers beware. There is no requirement for any of these things to be working. There's no disclosures that are given in terms of that. There's no flood reports given. It is a kind of a wild, wild west state.
however,
way.
if you as the seller are aware of latent
Latent defects.
which are not obvious, not
Right.
not evident, you
Right.
are required to disclose. Yeah.
Right. So very rare we ever get disclosures in Virginia.
Are you required to disclose it if the house is haunted?
You're actually not allowed to disclose if the house is haunted. Because what's the word? You blemish the house.
Yeah.
The house has, it's not.
Anyhow, listen.
I heard of a court case once in another area, another
okay.
country, where they were supposed to disclose if the house was haunted. And apparently the buyers purchased and were not given any disclosures about this. And they found the gateway to hell in the house. I'm not kidding. They went to court, sued the sellers for not disclosing it.
Oh my God.
And they won.
Oh my God.
Not in Virginia.
Oh my God.
I just saw in Walgreens the Haunted Houses of Virginia book.
There are stories.
Checkout.
There's a tour in Old Town.
Old Town, Virginia.
Old
Ghost
Town,
tours.
yeah.
Have you done it?
No.
Oh, I've done it
No,
twice.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
So,
Anyhow,
anyhow.
I had to go to court in 3 different occasions, taking 3 different days of work out of my schedule to stand in front of a judge
Yes.
and recover my security deposit. At the end of the day,
Okay.
it was something, I got it, and it was something done more out of, like, if you were to put it in a financial, matrix, out of conviction than out of financial gain, because I didn't gain anything. I actually lost money by having to go to court. That's why I said, once you go to court, you lost already.
Yeah.
So
It's true. It's true. We don't want to go to court. We want to keep
No.
our clients out of court, buyers and sellers both.
yes. Yes.
What else do you want to talk about today?
I don't know. You were talking about haunted houses.
I was talking about haunted houses. So that is a fun fact in Virginia.
You actually just mentioned something about condition. Okay? So I view real estate as a simple. It's simple is not easy. Okay? But the recipe is pretty simple. You have 3 main ingredients, which are price, condition, and location. And they have to...
Ingredients, I like that.
Yeah, and they have to come into play all together. You cannot, just like in the recipe, I like steaks.
Okay.
So steak, salt, pepper.
Okay.
The only thing that you can have a lot of is steak. but you need to balance it with the other 2, right?
Right.
But you don't want to have too much salt. You don't want to have too much pepper. Like you have to find the balance of those 3 ingredients. So simple, not easy, because you need to have the expertise and know-how to identify what this home in this location, in this condition is worth versus that same home in this other location. So pricing homes is kind of an art form.
It is. And sometimes a home 4 down from the next house is going to be $80,000 different.
Yeah.
Because of condition. Maybe it's on the corner, maybe it backs to the woods and
A
another
lake.
one doesn't, so it's very tricky. And especially when you sit in front of sellers and they're going, well, the neighbor just down the street got XYZ for their house and that's what we want.
And I painted my trim.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, it takes you have to really step back from being the homeowner and look at the whole market and not just look at the home that you've loved over the years.
It is really hard.
It's hard.
It is really hard.
It's hard to price your own home. Yeah.
I heard this recently. My job as the listing agent is to turn your home into a product that the market wants to buy.
Yeah, it's not a home anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to convert the place where your kids took their first steps, where you might have proposed to your wife, where you had your first, like all of that, all of those memories, all of those moments. I need to take all of that and make it into a product that the new buyer, the new owner wants.
You almost need to neutralize the home.
In many ways.
Yeah.
In many ways. I like homes with personality though. I like to see that there is somebody who lives here and that is not just HGTV with the staging furniture bowl and, the TP in the corner.
Yeah, I think the issue with that, is, and I've heard it myself from buyers, right? We go into a home and the buyers are looking around and the home is clearly still lived in. The sellers are still there. Their glasses are in the cabinet. Their laundry's running, the dryer's going. Like, you can tell someone just showered and the bathroom's like moist and like the water is still running down. And they're feeling like they're creepers. They're feeling like they're sneaking around someone else's house, which we're walking through someone else's house that's still being lived in, and they don't want to touch anything. They don't want to open cabinets. They feel like
intimidated,
uncomfortable.
They're going to get in trouble.
They feel uncomfortable in that situation. Yeah. So I think that's where, if you have a house that's more neutralized, where, maybe you don't have all of your dishes in the cabinets, you just have the couple that you use, then people are more likely to open the empty cabinets, or you kind of have to walk that line of how can we still live here and make buyers comfortable walking through.
Yes. And I will expand in what I mean by personality. I don't mean like, hey, this is the wet towel that I just shower with.
It's personality.
Yes. No, I mean more in the sense of, like, you want to clean the clutter, steps 1 and 2. Like, you cannot clean too much and you cannot declutter too much. There is no limit on that.
No.
Go as hard as you want. So clean the clutter, and you want to depersonalize. And that is where I just, like, yes, to a certain extent, I don't need to see your diplomas or your names or, like very private, intimate moments. Right. But I also want to know that, hey, this home has been loved, like there is life that is taking place in this home. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that.
I like that. It's funny too, because I am recently in a debate with a post-settlement occupancy agreement where the sellers left the home and the contract calls for the house to be broom clean.
Yes.
What does that even mean? Broom clean. Okay. So they did what they considered broom clean. Buyers took possession and decided that the house was filthy and they were not going to release the security deposit because they had to hire professional cleaners to come in and clean the house. So what one party perceives as clean may be dirty to the next people that walk in. So to your point, you cannot overclean.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because cleaning is a topic that I address with buyers right away. With buyers. Yes.
How so?
Because of your clients.
At possession, you mean?
You are going to have an expectation that they're going to be delivering a shiny, brand new product to you. Right. That's not it. You're buying a used home.
Yes.
Okay? You're not buying a new construction.
Right.
Okay?
Unless you're buying a new construction.
Okay. Unless you're buying a new construction. In that case, we're not dealing with post-settlement occupancy. We're not dealing with broom clean and free of trash. There's a different terms of the delivery of the property. So, you're not buying new construction.
It's just a joke.
Yeah, okay. I know. Went over my head. But I address it with buyers because of these expectations of cleanliness. What is clean to you might not be clean to me. Mm-hmm. And I say, hey, the requirement per the contract is to be broom clean and free of trash and debris. End of story.
Period.
If you, can we ask for them to professionally clean it? It's like, yes, but even if they do that, it has to be professionally clean to your standards.
Exactly.
So why don't you
just do it?
Do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I've been at both the receiving and giving end of that. Mm-hmm. And there's always a conflict of opinions and perceptions that you can bridge sometimes.
And it becomes conflict sometimes.
Right.
Like, these are the issues now we're dealing with. A title company that's holding the EMD.
They don't want to hold that money.
An unhappy seller. I'm stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Which, truthfully, agency ends at settlement. So during a post-settlement occupancy, I'm really not stuck in the middle, but when issues arrive, who gets the phone calls, but the realtors.
Yeah.
Because that's the go-to. So now we're sort of in the middle trying to manage like the flow of, well, okay, what does the contract say versus what actually is going down in real life, which a lot of times they don't correspond because the contract actually says with a post-settlement occupancy agreement that the buyers have 3 business days after the post-settlemency is done to report defects to the title company and let them know that that not to release the security deposit. Title companies, from my experience, and you can chime in here, they never release the security deposit after 3 days. They sit and wait till someone calls them or someone says it's okay, and that's not what the contract says. So there's what happens, and then there's what the contract says, and sometimes they don't align. So we get kind of stuck in the middle.
Yeah. Post settlement. Yes,
real quick. I had a seller once who she interviewed different cleaning companies for her home. I swear to you. And she came back and she was like, well, this company won't do windows and this one won't scrub the tiles. And this one, I mean, there are so many differences amongst cleaning companies.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why there is some gray area with the contract. It says, hey, it's broom clean and free of debris and trash.
So professionally clean doesn't mean that they're going to clean the windows, exterior windows.
No. And when you open the window and all that dirt and debris is inside of it, in the sill. Yeah.
What about the landscape?
I know, it never ends.
Pick up the leaves underneath the deck?
When I was new in real estate, I remember I had the buyers and I went to the final walkthrough before they got there. And there were some like leaves, like dried leaves that were brought in on people's shoes, like in the house. And I remember I was down on the ground picking up each little particle because I was thinking in my head, this is not free of debris. Like I can see the debris. And I was like trying to clean it up before the buyers came. But
one last cleaning thing
yes.
that happened to me personally. Again, another rental situation, my own.
Okay.
I vacated a home and I was to have it professionally clean. Like the expectation was to have it in the same condition as if they could put a sign on the yard and rent it the next day, right?
Okay.
And one of the pictures that they sent me a charge for $90 was of a business card on the floor in the storage room because they had to clean it.
Gosh.
$90.
Wow. It's an expensive business card.
Wasn't even mine.
Oh, that's bad.
$90.
And these are the behind the scenes
yes.
of real estate.